What about you? You're all very welcome. Now, something a wee bit different. I will, however, be commenting on the glorious 12th and the biggest bonfire in the world. The biggest bonnie in the world is from here, but I will be commenting on that hopefully this Sunday. If you want to tune in for that, it'll be on Sunday. But this time, I want to talk about something different. Do you know what I mean? And it's a topic I touched on way back on the 11th of July 2013, namely dangerous dogs. Now, I highlighted it at that time that the size of the dog was invariably inversely proportionate to the size of the man who owned it. In other words, the bigger the dog, the smaller the owner. We all know this to be true. We all know there's some compensation going on. It's always some wee spidey wimp weighing about 6 stone hanging on to a land shark. Now, I followed up with another video on the subject on 13th September last year, when I put the blame for dangerous dogs solely where it belongs, with the owners. So I was struck a couple of weeks ago when this clip appeared on the news showing a pit bull attacking a PSNI officer.
Get your dog! Get your dog! Get your dog! Get your dog back! No! Oh my!
Now, I know what pit bull owners and XL bully owners are going to say. All dogs bite, and sure, most bites don't come from these dogs. Most bites come from other breeds of dogs. We get Jack Russells or poodles or whatever it is. But what you have to bear in mind is that this dog, these dogs, this breed has a grip that is somewhere close to 235 psi, or per square inch. So when that dog locks on, it don't matter what you're going to do, you're not going to get that dog off. Like here, you saw them beating the dog. They beat the dog, beat it with a big truncheon. Useless.
Stop! Oh my God, Peter, you would have hit it in the face or something. Give me your pack. Give me your pack. Stop! Oh my God.
And again, when they handed the baton over to the owner, so she could bait the bake off the dog, it too it wasn't aware of anything. Once that dog clamped on, you got to hit it with a hammer. Nothing's going to get that dog off. And I would point out, even though this was a female owner, I would again point out the differential in weight between the owner and the dog. Here's my point, right? I still argue that you should not be allowed to own a dog if it weighs more than you. To me, that just seems common sense. Do you know what I mean? That should be one of the first things. Put them on the scale. Put the owner on the scales. If the owner's 6 foot, 6.5 stone, right? And the dog's 8.5 stone, you're not getting that dog. There's no way you can control that dog. But I want you to be very listen to the comment, right, from the owner. And this bit of the clip, right? Listen to what they say.
I told you not to phone the man. Dog! He would never do that.
I told you not to come in. He would never do this.
That is what you always hear when things like this happen. The owners always say that. See, owners of these dogs, it's always,
he's a lovely dog. He's a lovely wee dog. So he is. He wouldn't touch anybody. He's great with a childer. He's lovely with a childer.
What do? Do they cover the childer and fat and throw them into the pen to play with the dogs? I do not think so. I do not think so. Again, these are land sharks. These aren't dogs. They're land sharks. And the fact that the owner couldn't get the dog to detach, the owner was not in control. Do you understand? The owner simply wasn't in control. I have 2 dogs. There's my 2 dogs. We small dogs. Because I'm a big man. I don't need a big dog. I don't need anything to compensate for me. So these are my dogs. And with these dogs, you ever seen these dogs? When I tell these dogs to sit, they sit. When I say stay, they stay. When I say leave, they leave. They don't pull me down the street on the lead like I'm doing some Olympic sport. They walk to heel. Now, the reason for that's quite simple. They were trained. I spent the time to train the dogs. And especially with dogs this size, if you are not going to expend the time and effort to train the dogs, you shouldn't get the dog. Now, I don't know how long that attack went on. Do you understand? But I'm not criticising the other officer because there's that many rules and regulations now. He probably wasn't allowed to draw his weapon, but he did have a gun. Do you understand? He had a gun at his side. And I have to be honest. Do you see if it had been me? That dog would have had more holes in it than a tea bag. Do you understand? That dog would have licked its balls for the last time that night. This is what I'm saying about I'm not saying I don't like dogs. I love dogs. I love my dogs. But comes a choice between dog and a human being, the dog goes. Every time the dog goes. I don't understand it, people. There's a precedence for this. There's a precedence. This is not new. The courts in America and the US, they've classified pit bull terriers, XL bullies, and all other aggressive dogs as lethal weapons, giving police the right to shoot the dog to protect either themselves or members of the public. I would suggest those in authority, whoever that may be in this country, allow the police the same powers, ensuring we never have the situation again where a police officer is in danger of losing her foot because of an out-of-control dangerous dog. Coincidentally, the laws have just recently changed here in the line with everywhere else. And that means that owners of those big, the big XL bullies, these things with jaws like a shark, right? Well, they now have to have them muzzled when they're out in public and also have them on a lead. Now, personally, I would make the owners have to wear a muzzle when they're out in public with the dog because it's something not right. If you've got a dog that big, son, I'm sorry, there's something not right. As I said at the start, there's an inversely proportionate relationship there. Because you may think you're a big guy, but all of us are looking at you going,
He's got a wee mini dick. A wee mini dick. A wee small, mini dick. I know. There's no need for that. There was no need for that, there was no need for it.